Hi, this is Kimberly. This is a synopsis and a critique of Chapter 17 of the book Letters from Christopher, Tragic Confessions of the Watts Family Murders by Shanann 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝. This chapter is titled Polygraph Test and Interrogation. The chapter starts out in the morning of August 14th. The police called Chris at around 5:45 a.m. to inquire if he had heard from Shanann yet. He, of course, said nope, that he had not, so police issued a BOLO, which is a be on the lookout. So they issued a BOLO and gave a press release. But according to the Discovery, this was issued the day before on August 13th. But on August 14th, the CBI did issue a missing and endangered alert. This may be what she was referring to. Some are still bitching and going on that I'm nitpicking. The reason I point out these seemingly insignificant errors is because this is supposed to be a fact-based book, not a novel. You may say that I'm fault-finding, but the police are fact-finding. Don't you want the facts? Did you buy the book to kind of find out what happened? This is exactly how rumors get started. Someone doesn't have the facts, and then once it's out there, you have a hard time changing some people's opinion. This book, from the inaccuracies I've found so far, to me this means the entire book is a report of uncertain and doubtful truth. If you're okay with that, then more power to you. However, the majority of us want to know what really happened, but we're getting what kinda sorta for the most part happened. While Mrs. 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝 is vivid and descriptive at times, we're getting confusion in some of what I found to be half-truths. Much of this is directly from the Discovery. However, even that has been copied incorrectly in many instances. But on with the chapter. The CBI became involved on Tuesday. She goes back to what was covered in the book about when Chris went down to the police station on Tuesday evening, the 14th, to answer questions. 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝 says he arrives around 8 p.m., while the Discovery states it was shortly before 7 p.m. He was shown a photo of a woman with two girls that was sighted at Walmart, and he confirmed it was not them. He then answered questions until 11 p.m. He was going to a friend's house to spend the night, which we all know to be Nick and Amanda. Except for the possible Walmart sighting, this was already covered in previous chapters, so I don't get why we are doing it again. Dumb fuck, agreed to another search on his house. They arrived at 6 a.m. on August the 15th and discovered the bedsheet in the trash. 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝 asked, why would Christopher, if he had been planning this, be so careless as to leave a sheet in the kitchen trash? Either he wanted to be caught or he had something major going on in his thought process. Well, did you quiz Christopher about this? Those are excellent questions, and it would have been awesome if you had asked him on one of those many occasions you had to speak to him on the phone, in letters, or in person. Personally, I think it's 'cause he's a fucking blooming idiot. So now we get to when Chris arrives for his polygraph at 11 a.m. on Wednesday the 15th. And then she goes on with the information regarding the polygraph that was lifted from the Discovery. So all these people that keep informing me that the author got all of her information from Chris Watts himself, no, she didn't. Some things, yes. The majority of it, no. Feel free to prove me wrong, and I will show you where most of her book came word for word from the Discovery files. I've gone over this bullshit with a fine-tooth comb, so I know. Am I perfect and without flaws? God, no. And please don't expect me to be, because you will just be setting yourself up for disappointment. But we're not talking about me here, are we? So for this part of the book, please refer to Discovery page 580 onward for the CBI's synopsis, the pre-test interview, and the polygraph itself, plus the post-test interview. I can read that to you guys if you like when I'm finished with this book. Seriously. Let me know in the comments. Many of you have asked me to read 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝's book aloud. It would be like reading the book, but without violating her copyright. So the polygraph procedures were explained, and they read as Miranda rights, and explained to him that he did not have to talk to the agent. I remember all of this. What I do want to know is why he went on with it. I'm starting to wonder what she and Chris talked about in their conversations and letters. As copied from the Discovery, Mrs. 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝 says this, quote, during the pre-test interview, Christopher told the agent the following, end quote, and then nothing. What, did you go on fucking break and forget to finish the sentence, the chapter, or the paragraph? She didn't fill us in on what was said during this time, and it was interesting little morsels of background information, sort of a getting to know you about Chris's personal life, growing up, etc. It would have been engaging to put some of those here in this segment. The blatant copying and pasting without rewording or changing it up a bit is actually shocking to me. I did not expect this from this book. To me, it is discovery and the wording from Chris's letters that comprise this book, without much from the author herself. Believe what you want, but I've done the checking and I'm outraged. The easiest way to tell you what was copied in this chapter is to say the majority of it. There is no reason for me to do a line by line. She goes on to say that Chris finished the test at 4 p.m. and, quote, flunked the test. In the discovery, Agent Tammy Lee said he failed. So this is something I found she did change the wording. The chapter carries on with the police using the drone at Survey 319, finding evidence and recovering Shanann's body around midnight. She then goes back to talking about the polygraph and all the technical aspects of it. It's all copied from Discovery, exactly as it was described. She describes Chris taking the test and afterwards, and that Chris watched videos of the girls on his phone while waiting for the scoring. Again, like last chapter, it's all out of order. In all fairness, I think she is trying to have us picture that this is going on simultaneously with what's going on with Survey 319. She did mess up at one point by including Agent Tammy Lee's exact words after asking Chris if he physically caused Shanann's disappearance. Quote, I assess Chris's psychological responses to the above relevant questions, end quote. And then she goes back to talking in the third person. The chapter ends with Tammy and Coder presenting Chris with a printed photo of Bella and Celeste, laid it on the table in front of him and told him he was lying. To someone that does not know much about this case, I'm sure it would be quite engaging and interesting, just like the first time I read the Discovery. But now you can purchase some of the Discovery in book form called Letters from Christopher. I would advise to move along. There's nothing new to see here. And that will be the end of this video. I will pick up a chapter 18 in the next one. Much love and peace. Thank you for listening.